welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about trends in 2024. Fashion week, or we can call it fashion month, is upon us, and we will see what's gonna be in autumn 2024. But for now, let's talk about the trends at the moment. Also, I'm going to talk about how wearable these trends are and how you can try to implement some of them in your wardrobe. So first things first, bows, roses and rosettes. We saw plenty of different examples of these elements, and they were implemented as smaller elements, like you can have a small bows on your shirt or on your skirt, as well as we saw huge rosettes with big element of your outfit which takes all attention. I think this is not really a surprise because we saw bows already starting from the holiday season, and if you follow me on Instagram, you maybe saw that I was also wearing that kind of red bow, which was very cute for the holiday season especially. But I also think that if you go for something more like a black or beige color, depending on the color of your hair, you can also rock this trend at the moment as well. Bows and roses, it's such a feminine element, and yeah, I think they're always nice and add the cuteness to your outfit. I'm personally not a fan of the trend and the dresses with huge roses, for example, on your chest, on your waist. I think it's just too much personally for me, but I have to say, for people who likes it and it suits them, why not? Sure. How wearable it is, it depends, because of course if you go for something which is a statement, it will go out of trend. And well, if you still like it and you feel it's relevant, it doesn't matter if it's a trend or not, but just you can note that yes, this is something which will go out. If you're just buying the top with the rosettes for the purpose of the trend, I don't actually think that that's a good idea, but sure, depends on your style as well. Next trend is, I would say, something new. We did saw a sheer material lately in terms of, for example, tops, so you can kind of see your bra, right? And playing with the white and black here with the contrast. But now we see this trend getting bigger, and we see more sheer materials, much more sheer materials in dresses, in skirts, especially in skirts. And I think this is also connected to the other trend I'm gonna mention, is that we saw plenty of models which wear pants with a skirt. It's not exactly a new trend. For me, I think it's a very weird trend. I personally don't like it, but what sheer trend does, that you can have pants, and then the sheer element of the skirt kind of adds something else to your outfit. Is it wearable? I think you're not gonna see much of these on the streets. Maybe if you a person who likes to dress up and you have occasion for it, and sure, but I don't think we're gonna see it that much. It's something also that is now a trend and not gonna stick, just because, again, this is not really wearable. And some of the examples on the runway, like models were only sheer skirts with basically like underpants or very short shorts, and well, like, it's just not realistic to see people wearing this on the streets. On the other side, I really love this Prada dress, which is so beautiful, so feminine. This is so special, and I think something like that can be very nice for spring and summer if you style it correctly, and especially if you have an event going on or you have a birthday or something. I think that might work well. The third trend, well, in my list, they obviously don't have a list in what trend goes when. It's definitely not new, but we see so many high-waisted trousers, shorts. This is new because we already saw the high-waisted pants for a while, right? Because of all this old money style and like elegance, right? But the difference here that not only in trousers, we see it also in skirts and dresses. The waist area in general now is in the focus. For that we did saw a lot of oversize. I would say oversize is going a bit less. It's been going for a while. The oversize is going a tiny bit less, but this season we even see it much more, that the oversize kind of roundish shape is changing and transforming into the waist focus, silhouette focused outfits, which is, I think, a great idea, because personally I'm very careful with oversize because I don't want to look like a balloon. I do like oversize, for example, sweater or jackets, but much less oversize with the trousers and jeans. Of course, high-waisted and waist is basically coming, as I said, from the elegance feminine style, from the 80s and 90s style, which we already see kind of coming, and people trying to recreate some of the outfits. This is also one of the trends, so trend number 4, 80s and 90s gonna stay. And I'm not talking that we're gonna wear completely same clothes at that time, but elements from the style and from the time we're gonna see in the outfits. This trend I love because I think it aligns with my style and with my preference, and it's very easy to create. Like, everything you need is just, for example, statement earrings like these, like that I'm wearing, some statement ring or a belt. I think, yeah, it's quite easy to do, and you can add as much as you want to the style. Well, obviously I was doing some research for this video, and I hear opinions that fashion and people got tired a bit of this clean aesthetic of beige and other colors, even though I think the colors right now are not going anywhere. We still see a lot of whites, black, beige, all these colors. Because they're so classic, they are not going anywhere, and we see some pop of color like green. Red is really in trend now, like that's why I'm wearing it right now. We can't say that, oh no, we don't wear white or black anymore. No, they're staying. I would add to this, to my point here, that when I was reading Glamour article, they called it as non-basic basic, and I think this is such a good term for it, because, as I said, the elegance and minimalism and this clean aesthetics, which we saw already for a while, it's not going anywhere, but it's changing a bit by adding elements which we haven't seen, new elements. And you can see actually this trend happening in basically all of these bigger trends I was talking to you about. As I said, for example, the transparent trend, this is not the news, but now it's transformed into skirts and being very light, silky, smooth materials instead of being in a wool. We see it in the high-waisted trousers. Before it was more, you have oversized, yes, you have waist, but oversized kind of take it over. At the moment it's going back, right? So that's what I mean, if it makes any sense. So the next trend, number 5, I think everyone saw it already on the social media, the Mop Wife trend. This is something very extravagant, very extra, styling, the leopard, the red, the black, everything puts together. And to be honest, I think people who wear it to extremes for no reason, it doesn't add them any grace. I think the best way to work with this trend is to implement some elements from it, for example, like glasses or earrings, maybe shoes, and take these elements and implement them to your more basic outfits. This way you will get the trend if you want to, right? But you will also add spice to your usual outfit. I think you can get pretty creative with this trend as well. Same goes with the leopard trend. Why not to have a leopard accessories? I would personally go for like a ballet flats. The trend number 6, I think 6, is the fringe skirts. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them. But why did trend happen? Because, as I mentioned before regarding the skirts over pants, the fringe skirts work so well with this trend. because you can see your legs and the pants, right? But the fringe adds the additional layer element which is flying around you, so that's why it came back. Is it wearable? I don't think that we will see a lot of this on the streets, just because it's not really practical. It's adding something else to your waist, right? And yeah, I think it will pass, so I wouldn't really focus on that unless you're really into this double layering style. Trend number 7 is no surprise, and it is denim. It is denim and double denim, and we have seen that recently. It's not new at all. However, the same situation happens as with the old money aesthetics. It transfers to the more, extravagant. Same happens with denim. We see denim, but instead of having it plain, simple lines, right? It transforms into more interesting elements. It transforms in the shape, in the pattern, in the texture. Designers try to do something different with the materials. They're playing around with shapes and forms and stitches to create something new. Is it wearable? Yes. This is exactly the trend you can rock, because it is practical, it is easy to implement, and it's also useful because of the thickness of material. For colder countries like Finland, it also will be usable. However, I will not go again over the top. I will, for example, you can find one piece, let's say a denim jacket, which is just a bit different from your usual jacket. It can be in shape, it can be a bit oversized, it can have pockets or some other materials or interesting like stitching around, right? And you can use this one staple and implement in your other outfits. For example, you can use the usual jeans you have with this new jacket, and you will look really on trend. Overall, I think that at the moment we see so much variety. We see on one side the colors like black and beige and white, which are still staying and not going anywhere. We see suits at the moment, which also been here forever. We see high-waisted trousers, we see 90s and 80s styles, which are very, very elegant. We see bows, which are feminine, right? And on the opposite side, we see this Mop Wife trend. We see the transparent pieces. We see big bows and big elements, right? So there is so much choice, which I think is great, because you can combine all of it in order to create your unique style. And it gives you an opportunity to experiment, to try new things, to be creative in your outfits. And I think that's great, because at the moment no one is telling you what you should and shouldn't wear. We see completely different elements in shape and form. So yeah, just have fun with it. Personally, I like 90s and 80s trend. I like elegance, but I also like, for example, red color, and I like big statement accessories. So by combining these elements, I think this is how I would style it. But yeah, overall, I think there is a good choice on the market. You can be creative, you can do whatever you feel and want to do. I would recommend to try some stuff, experiment, and just have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and join me in my next fashion videos. Bye bye!